My name is David Yao. I'm the director of the Institute for Advanced Study here, which was set up in November 2015. The idea really is to raise the profile of CityU. And over the last couple of years, we did have a lot of activities. I really invite you to take a look at the IAS webpage. In particular, look at the events page. There are many events. In particular, starting last summer, I introduced a Frontiers in Operations Research, Operations Management series. And we had a few high-profile speakers. Many of you would know those speakers, and probably many of you already participated in those seminar series. Those speakers include Ivy Mandelbaum, John Birch, and most recently, Frank Kelly. This workshop is also very much along that line, although the focus is on systems and control. I also have two partners on this campus to co-sponsor this event, and they are the College of Business and also the Center for Chaos and Complex Networks, which is a center as part of the College of Science and Engineering. My two co-organizers are Ho-Ming Yan, the Dean of the College of Business, and also Professor Ron Chan, who is the Director of the Center for Chaos and Complex Networks. So now I would like them to each say a few words to welcome you and also talk about their units. Ho-Ming?
So I'm very glad David asked College of Business be a part of co-organizer of this distinguished workshop. And I'm very much happy to see many speakers from overseas, from many places. And let me just extend a welcome to all of you to City University. And I'm sure we will have a good conference. Thank you.
Hi, good morning again. Welcome to Hong Kong. Welcome to CityU, and welcome to this workshop. On behalf of our Center for Chaos and Complex Networks, I just welcome all of you. A few words about our center. Our center is working on research related to nonlinear dynamics, systems and controls and networks. But we cannot make the center name too long, so we put it this way. In fact, I came here now, time flies, 17 years ago to form this center. That was one of the incentives that they attract me to come to stay, actually from Texas. Our center organize and co-organize, sponsor and co-sponsor some small international and local workshops and conferences. So far, if I remember correctly, we sponsor and organize 15 international conferences. So basically one in each year. And then we co-sponsor and co-organize more than 30 conferences so far. I think more importantly, I would say, is that ever since the beginning in year 2000 until now, through these 17 years, on every Friday of each semester, the center organized a seminar. So far, we did not leave out even one single Friday. So we continuously promote research, cooperation, and graduate studies by our effort. Although the center is small, I belong to the college, David already mentioned to that. We will continue to work to promote research and studies. So given the time limit, I think I give it back to David. So once again, thank you for coming and welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ho-Ming. Well, we finished this opening 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes earlier. No surprise. So we will have a better use of that 5 minutes. So let me introduce the keynote speaker for this workshop, really the highlight of this workshop. That's Professor Ho. Many of you in the audience would say, you know, Professor Ho needs no introduction. That's true. He is truly a giant in the field. But anyway, let me just sort of highlight some of his main accomplishments. He got his PhD from MIT. Sorry, MS from MIT. Yes, you know, there's always a bit of a rivalry between MIT and Harvard. So I said, Ron, that's a good start. He got his MS from MIT, and I think a bachelor's degree also from MIT. Yes, I don't want to get that wrong again. He got his bachelor's degree, master's degree from MIT, and then moved on to Harvard, did his PhD there. And then stayed on as a faculty and basically spent his entire career at Harvard. He was holding the Gordon McKay Professor of Engineering and Applied Mathematics, and also the Jefferson College Chair in Applied Mathematics later. And then starting 2007, he became a professor emeritus at Harvard. And then he took up a part-time chair professor and a chief scientist position at the Center for Intelligent and Network Systems in the Department of Automation, Tsinghua University. Also, since the same year, he has been actively writing a blog on ScienceNet China, and that blog articles have been published by Tsinghua University Press. I strongly recommend you to check that out. Some of those articles are really very insightful. It's almost a must-read for everybody who is inspired to be a good academic, a good person. So he has won pretty much all the really major awards in IEEE and also in technology. So let me just mention a few. First is the IEEE Field Award for Control Engineering and Science. That's the top IEEE field, as many of you know. And also the Chen Technology Achievement Award. That is probably the equivalent of a Nobel Prize in engineering and technology. And also the Control Heritage Award. He's a member of the US Academy of Engineering, and also a foreign member of the Chinese Academy of Engineering and the Chinese Academy of Sciences. 两院院士. He's also the founding president, I believe, of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society. That was founded in '88. Before I let you listen to Larry's presentation, I want to mention two things. The first one is about his book with Bryson. That's really a classic. I think everybody knows that book, Applied Optimal Control, 75, published the first published in 75, I believe. 69. Okay, I knew that because when I was in graduate school, that was a famous book. In fact, that was the gold standard in those days. If you look it up, you know, the citations are just tremendous. And you have to keep in mind, those are the days way before people get obsessed with things like, you know, citation counts, age indices, all kinds of nonsense. Academics are obsessed with those nonsense, right? Just like politicians are obsessed with the size of their hands or other body parts. So in those days, nobody, you know, really go for those kind of numbers. They go for the gold standard. So what's the gold standard? That book gives you an example of the gold standard. So that's the first thing I want to mention. The second thing I want to mention is yesterday I spent most of the day corresponding with many of you who are experiencing hardship in traveling. I probably wrote in one day more email messages than I ever did. And then late in the night, I found myself quoting a Chinese saying, 逆旅人生,人生逆旅, which is basically a play on the metaphor, the connection, metaphor of a life as journey, journey as a life. So if you come to think about it, what is a life? What is a journey? They all include a sequence of decisions, feedback control, adaptive control. So it's only fitting today, Larry's keynote speech is talking about life, about making decisions and maybe feedback control, adaptive control. So without further ado, please, Larry.